talk us through, Austin, kind of your high level thoughts on what has gone wrong so far in this 2025 season, and ultimately, let's be clear, folks. There's like a less than 1% chance that we get in the playoffs at this point, and even if we did, we wouldn't make it past the first round in all likelihood. And so we're going to get to, at the end of this segment, we're going to get to what we're playing for the rest of the season. To a chatter's point earlier, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Ben Sherman. We definitely got to play for pride, and we definitely got to beat Florida in the swamp. Okay, you have to do that. Okay, you can't give up this season,
Yeah.
Austin. But the point is that we're talking about what went wrong, because at this point we are not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to make the playoffs. I think it's 0% if I had to put a percentage on it. But I agree with you, Blake. The rest of the season is critical. Like, this team is still very young, right? And it's got a lot of talent. A lot of these guys will be back, and you want to. And I think we're all. I haven't seen anyone calling for Heupel's job. I think that would be ridiculous. So like we want things to go well the rest of the year, or else conversations could get ugly. Despite the playoffs, although it does feel like most of us are checked out because there is no playoffs. And why did that happen, right? Because, like, if you go back to what we were saying preseason, right? We had a lot of questions about the offense, right? That was one of our big questions. And our biggest question about the defense, Blake, was, can you replace the pass rush of James Pierce and Omar Norman Lott? At least that was my biggest question about the defense. And the frustrating thing is, Blake, is that the questions at receiver, the O line, the defensive line, they were all answered, and they probably all exceeded our expectations. If you're just being honest, it's like, wow, the receivers have looked really good this year, and the pass rush for the most part has been pretty good. And then the offensive line, especially in pass pro, has been fantastic all season long. And then Aguilar elevated the offense and so it's like, you tell me all that and you're telling me we're 6-3. Oh, what happened? What went wrong? A couple of things. You have to start with the defense and the defensive coordinator. The defense individually has talent. They do. But as a unit, they suck. They are unacceptably bad this year. And it's been more bad than good with Tim Banks. And I've listened midway through the year, the rumbling started to happen with the fan base, and I was saying, oh, stability is really important, and I still stand by that. But stability doesn't matter if you suck. Like, if you suck on defense. You do. And especially when you've been given talent. You can't keep crying about scholarship limits and blah blah blah, the lack of depth. All that goes out the window. We alluded to this earlier, but we had over a 50% blue chip percentage, and that's like the magic cutoff or whatever for potential national championship teams. We were like one of only, I believe, 12 to 15 teams or whatever in college football that is the case for. I think it's closer to 12 than it is 15. So it's not many teams in college football that can say that, Blake, that can say that they have that sort of blue chip percentage. So the talent is not an excuse, right? There's Jermon
Right.
McCoy's injury or whatever, but it's like, at the end of the day, you got the talent, you've got the individuals, but have you put them in position to win? Have you put them in position to actually make a play? And I think on a consistent basis, Tim Banks has not done so, Blake, on a consistent basis.
Yeah, well, and you're talking about the blue chip ratio, which is absolutely right. We don't have the excuse of the talent, and the injuries are, yes, the injuries have hurt us in a big way, especially on defense, especially in the secondary. But Austin, to the point about the blue chip ratio is about a kid's rating coming out of high school. And guess what? Jermon McCoy, if I'm not mistaken, was a 3-star, was he not?
Yes. So he's not
And he
even
was a
included
transfer.
in that.
So he's not even included in that. And so, to your point, it is, yes, we have lost talent from last year. We've lost production from last year. We have injuries, but it just, what's been a consistent theme, exactly like you said, it just seems like Banks is getting out schemed in a lot of situations. And when we are looking to turn the corner and find that situation where we have an offense that is playing good again, despite mistakes that are shooting ourselves in the foot. You need a defense to just meet us halfway and not be in near dead last in some categories, Austin. That's the crazy thing
Yeah.
is, we were first in the SEC and like sacks and for a while and like a lot of the different things, but then also like in other things we're like near
Like dead
last in
last.
FBS.
Yes. Literally, dude. I mean, that's how bad it's been. It's like, and how are you like sixth in sacks coming into the week, but like 106th in yards allowed in points, like, or 120th and stuff. Like, those things shouldn't add up. Like, sacks should kill drives. But you know what's happened this year? It's not an exaggeration when we say this. We have gotten teams in third and long, and this is like the nitty-gritty defensive conversation. We've gotten teams in third and long consistently because of the sacks, because of the TFLs, but then we give up third and 15, third and 16,
Yep.
third and 13. How many? I mean, we gave up one in this game, Blake, third and 14. We, in a critical situation, we let John Mateer run for like 16 yards. You just can't do it. You cannot do it, man. You got to have a spy. You got to have somebody. And again, it's like, I get it. It's a multi-level conversation. That's why we're talking about the multi-level things. But it's like, you gotta put the player in position to win. That's the first job. It's the first job of the football team. It's the coach putting a player in the position to win. And you can't tell me with a bunch of talented individuals, a lot of which are in first round mock drafts, Blake. You cannot tell me that the coach has nothing to do with them not being successful. You just can't. That just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up when I see 3 or 4 defenders in the first round mock, and I'm like, but we're giving up 30 plus a game? Huh?
What?
Like, what?
But
How does that
make that
happen?
make sense. What you got to show me your work on that math problem, brother, because I can't. That's some algebra that I just can't understand. That's some voodoo algebra right there. How are you going to have that kind of talent and then not be able to, have better results? It's just, and you, oh gosh, everyone in the chat, Ryan, everyone is agreeing about the freaking, like, are you kidding me? This third down,
It's
you got to get off the field on third
ridiculous.
down.
Things, man. It's these little mistakes
Little
that
mistakes.
have added up in these games that and again, it's the most frustrating part of this season, Blake, is A, we've had the talent to win, and B, it's been unforced in a lot of situations. In a lot of situations, it's been unforced errors, missed kicks, dropped passes to interceptions. It's been missed assignments on defense or just simply penalties, things like that. It's just clock management situations. It's been so many dropped passes. It's been so many things that are unforced that have cost us these games. These margins are super thin. And the crazy thing is, if you look at the Georgia game and you look at the Oklahoma game, which is our 2 losses that I believe should have been wins this year. The Alabama game could have been closer without the pick 6, but those are the 2 losses that could have and should have been wins this year in Neyland Stadium. Like, those games, how many unforced errors did we talk about? Yet we still had opportunities at the end of the game to win. So if you just take away
Right.
2 or 3 of the things we mentioned, it's like then you win the game comfortably. It's not even like oh, we have to squeak this one out. We win comfortably. But that's not been the case, man, because it's the theme of this team. This team is good, but not elite because it's in the details and the details are missing.
Well, and Austin, that's true of our wins too. You look at these
Yes.
close wins against Arkansas,
Correct.
Mississippi State. We should have won those games comfortably, but we were sweating them because of again these mistakes. And that goes back to Sam's point about a few different plays being away from 8-1, and
Yes.
that's true. But that to me that doesn't make me feel more comfortable or easier about it or better about it. It makes me feel kind of worse because it's like, hey,
Yes.
you you need to clean up these mistakes and these little details exactly like you're talking about. So really for me, Austin, I think the proof is in the pudding, and specifically proof in the details of this season. It's the devil is in the details, so to speak, for this season. It's just been those little mistakes, man, those little details that have decided, hey, we're sweating out a win against Arkansas, or we're barely losing to Oklahoma and Georgia when you absolutely should have and could have won.